It is the hour of the time. Lights out for the curfew of your body, soul, and mind. This is Richard Greaser, and you're listening to the Paznia Radio Network.
For Christmas, there is only this one thing. I just need the price to be pumping so the podcasters can feel like kings. I wanna be scrolling Twitter on my phone, smoking weed and getting stoned, make my dreams come true. All I want for Christmas is an announcement to come through. I don't ask for much for Christmas. There is only this one thing. Need the price to be pumping so the podcasters can feel like kings. It's getting too cold outside. Why does Dennis have to hide? I'll just grit my teeth and smile as I try hard to just enjoy the ride. I wanna be scrolling Twitter on my phone, smoking weed and getting stoned, make my dreams come true. For Christmas, I just want the price to move so I can rub it into Uncle Jimmy, who doesn't appreciate NGU. I won't be on Predator's naughty list, Santa's sure proud of me. Watching Simply Bitcoin on the TV, pleb trinkets are under the Christmas tree. Save us all, so we could all walk tall. How much Bitcoin do I need to retire like a queen? No, I don't ask for much for Christmas, just some hope beyond the last. Every space is breaking news, every rumor's moving fast. Refresh my timeline.
Folks, welcome to the Monday Night Music Mondays. I'm your host, Richard Greaser. Let me get rid of this graphic. This show is not starting soon. It has started. We're in it. All I want for Christmas is an announcement. I don't think that's that much to ask. Where the hell is Dennis? Dennis? We're entitled to your presence. We're entitled to you making an announcement for us. We need it. The price is dipping. Bitcoin's at like 86,000 USDT per coin. Is it because the global macro environment looks abysmal? Is it because the plebs have paper hands? Is it because institutions are suppressing the price? with their paper Bitcoin? Is it because David Bailey is crashing the market and Corey Saquon's is selling their Bitcoin? The paper Bitcoiners have paper hands. What's going on? No, the real reason why the price is dipping is because Dennis has been kidnapped by North Korea. You're not going to hear that on other macro podcasts, but you're going to hear that here tonight. You're going to hear the truth. Dennis is in Pyongyang. He's doing presentations at meetups. He's getting record amounts of people showing up, and it's because the fearless leader Kim Jong-un had the foresight to understand that Dennis Porter is the United States' greatest ally. And so he essentially kidnapped the greatest ally away from the United States. The man who has prevented Bitcoin from becoming illegal, the man who cures erectile dysfunction single-handedly, is like Superman. It's legitimately like Superman, real-life Superman. He walks into the room, and it's like a revival. He revives. Doesn't matter how satanic or pedophilic the politician is. He walks into that room, and if they're a man, they get an erection. If they're a woman, they just get real excited to see him. And he just starts orange pilling them. He doesn't care who's watching. He'll just start orange pilling them right there in front of everybody. And yeah, he got kidnapped by Kim Jong-un, and now he's doing that shit in North Korea. He's running around orange pilling the North Korean Bitcoin plebs in Pyongyang. He convinced the great leader to start running NOTS nodes. So now all of the North Korean Bitcoin nodes, through state mandate, are filtering transactions because they don't believe that hosting other people's JPEGs in their mempool is a part of the Juche ideology, which preaches the idea of self-sovereignty. And they see Bitcoin as a database because they're not completely retarded plebs, but they don't see it as a database for what they consider arbitrary data. They don't want HRF and Alex Gladstein going out there and inscribing SpongeBob memes, because there's one thing that the great leader knows is that you protect your plebs, you protect your children. The North Korean version of the broccoli haircuts, they don't have broccoli haircuts, they got Kim haircuts over there. That's one thing that he doesn't put up with in his country. Is you don't allow the children to see SpongeBob memes. It's anti-Juche. Nickelodeon, completely banned in North Korea. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Dennis is over there. He hasn't tweeted. Today's 21 days. He's not tweeted in 21 days, and the price is dipping. That's the real reason why, folks. It's not because of Bitcoin Core V30 or, whatever nonsense macro goo goo gaga that you're hearing on whichever podcast you're listening to. Because Dennis. And what's happened in the last 21 days since its kidnapping, just seeing a sharp rise of erectile dysfunction around the country. You get a bunch of grumpy women that just want their husbands to perform and are unable to. So do me a favor, tweet right now, go out there and tweet the hashtag bring Dennis home. Because we want the price of Bitcoin to go. We want NGU. All I want for Christmas is an announcement. That's what I need. That's what we all need. The world needs an announcement. And, what is Christmas the celebration of? It's the celebration of an announcement. God's son was announced on Christmas, but only a small group of people appreciated the announcement. Jesus hadn't yet achieved the network effect that he has today. But people enjoy the network effect of Christianity. That's what they're celebrating on Christmas, and it's a fun time. Even if you're not religious. I mean, I guess the Jews are celebrating Hanukkah, so make sure to, your accountant or lawyer or banker, favorite movie producer that hasn't gotten stabbed in the neck this week by their son. Go wish them a happy Hanukkah. They'll appreciate it, because I feel like there's this tension between the Gentile world, the Goyim, and the Jews that is caused every year by the Gentiles forgetting about Hanukkah. And so you're having to be reminded of Hanukkah by, politicians like Eric Adams go out there and wear yarmulke and light the Hanukkah candles in New York, just to remind the Gentiles, just don't forget, if just wish them a happy Hanukkah. Like, there doesn't have to be this whole ordeal, but the spotlight's on Christmas, and for Christmas means something different to everybody. Everyone's unique in their view of Christmas. Some people are religious. Some people, it's the only time of year that they go to church. Christmas and Easter only, that's what they call them, CEOs. Some people, it's just, for the Jews, for example, what Christmas means is Chinese food and movies. So typically there's a good movie that comes out on Christmas, so like the Jews celebrate Hanukkah before Christmas. So they're done celebrating before the day. And so on the day, they don't know what to do. And like part of the reason why they get Chinese food is because the Chinese typically aren't really, like, there's a lot of, Chinese Christianity sects or churches, but like the average person, Chinese person living in the United States is much less likely to be religious. It's because they've lived under, this communist country where, Maoist communism has been the state-led religion for a long time. But yeah, anyways, I just kind of, so what this show is I just ramble whatever's on my mind, and I play music that I've been writing. So that's what we got going tonight. That was All I Want for Christmas is an announcement off of the new Christmas album that Rod and I and others at the Bugle are working on. That was a Kaylee Welch song. But yeah, the holidays are coming up. I mean, I'm probably not going to, I don't think I'm going to talk to you until after Christmas. Let me look at my calendar. Yeah, the 29th is, which actually I won't be able to do the show that day, unfortunately. So I'm not going to talk to you until January after this show. But folks, the holidays are coming up. Bitcoin's dipping. People are grumpy. Plebs are grumpy. There's all sorts of violent things happening. It's the fourth turning. The economy is doing fine, though. I mean, I guess that's one of the good things, because the economy is doing fine because the White House keeps on saying how great it is, right? That's the indicator of how well the economy is doing. It's not how people feel, but what the the state says. The state sanctioned messages, that's where you should get your information, right? Like, you should trust, like, when you're dictating, trying to measure what inflation is, ignore your property taxes are shooting through the roof because the valuation on your house has doubled in the last 5 years. Just look at CPI. Like, go to the grocery store, ignore your eyes, ignore the prices increasing. Just be like, the White House said CPI is only this much, so means the economy's fine. Tweeting about how great the economy's doing. So it must be true. That's the truth. That's what we're going to accept. But folks, this is the Paznia Radio Network. If you want to learn more about what Paznia is, go over to paznia.com/radio. We're going to get back into the music. I've got a couple Christmas songs, but I'm not going to make you listen to Christmas music, even though you probably deserve a whole rendition of Christmas music. But, maybe, man, this is kind of a bummer. So I'm not going to have a show before Christmas. We're still working on the album, but we'll have that published. So if you want to sit around Christmas listening to bugle Christmas songs with your family, we'll make that available for you before Christmas. I'll make sure that happens. Next song is Corey and the Swans, followed up by Holding Out for an Announcement.
Hey, bit kinda wanna get mad together, crusade against things that never even mattered. We'll post about the shit coins like it's a huge threat, ignoring that the company's back end is a game of roulette. Brady and Alex, have you heard them yet? Sitting in spaces all day acting upset. Corey and the Swans, acting all high and mighty, heroes to the players, drowning out the signal while they get caught in waves. Oh, he's got that golden hair, bleach white tee, a California king who posts pleb slop tweets. Corey and the Swans. Oh, hey, plebs wanna buy a solution. Self-custody and KYC is the revolution. Follow the leader as he leads you nowhere, pumping up his engagement to make others aware. Brady and Alex, have you heard them yet? Sitting in spaces all day acting upset. Corey and the Swans, acting all high and mighty, heroes to the plebs, drowning out the signal while they get caught in webs. Oh, he's got that golden hair, bleach white teeth, a California king who posts pleb slop tweets. Corey and the Swans. Brady and Alex, have you heard them yet? Sitting in spaces all day acting upset. Corey and the Swans, acting all high and mighty, heroes to the plebs, drowning out the signal while they get caught in webs. Oh, he's got that golden hair, bleach white teeth, a California king who posts pleb slop tweets. Corey and the Swans. Corey and the Swans. Corey and the Swans. Corey and the Swans. Corey and the Swans.
told. Lungs are getting liquidated as sentiment implodes. Satoshi action is more like Satoshi run and hide. The bears are in control and we all need a guide. But the night is always darkest before dawn. Maybe Dennis has been working to protect our rights all along. 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 Dun, 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 dun. I need an announcement. I'm holding out for Dennis to get back into the fight. He's gotta be brave and he's gotta be sharp, or things ain't gonna be alright. I need an announcement. I'm holding out for Dennis to set things right. He's gotta be bold and he's gotta be loud. He's gotta bring the bull market back to life. I need an announcement. I'm holding out for Dennis to get back into the fight. He's gotta be brave and he's gotta be sharp, or things ain't gonna be alright. I need an announcement. I'm holding out for Dennis to set things right. He's gotta be bold and he's gotta be loud. He's gotta bring the bull market back to life.
Oh. What do I talk about? I'm just checking Zap's not stream. We got Shadrach. We got Vake. Whoa. We got some big boosts over on Zap stream right now. This is crazy. Vake for 42,000 sats says, free Dennis so he can listen to 40 HPW of Paper Bitcoin Summer podcast while smoking cigarettes and reading Ayn Rand alongside Hot Lynn Alden. Yeah, you know, I don't think Dennis is the type of guy that likes Atlas Shrugged. Let's be honest here, Vake. If he did, he wouldn't hang out with the moochers so much. I mean, he's taken a very different approach. He's trying to essentially invalidate Rand's philosophy entirely by playing ball with these guys. He's trying to change the system from the inside. And but yeah, we should free him anyways. I also don't think he smokes cigarettes, but he probably will now that he's in North Korea. I bet you Kim likes to smoke cigarettes. I bet he's going to demand that Dennis smokes. And could you imagine how base Dennis is going to be smoking cigarettes? Like he's going to be over there. If there's one thing that's for sure about North Korea is they make people work really hard, like really, really hard. They make the Chinese look lazy, which is insane. If you can make the Chinese look lazy, like the Chinese take time to go eat food. You know what I mean? Sometimes. North Koreans, never. So Dennis is going to be having to smoke some cigarettes to crank out those state approved announcements that Kim is having him do. But thank you, Vake, for the boost. Really appreciate it. Shanrak also zapped 2,112 sats. Merry Christmas. Also says the economy is fine. Don't listen to them, Grandpa. And then Rayo says, damn, Zapstream is working. Surprised. Still isn't for me. Yeah, you know. Nostr users are hipsters. And to some degree, I am a hipster. And I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable in it. I feel like journalists tend to be hipsters. They're just, I'm a little bit of a different breed of hipster, but you know, when you look at, let's see, Mark Goodwin, total hipster. You look at him, you're watching him on an interview with Whitney Webb, And you know he's wearing those jeans, and he's got them rolled up. He's got rolled up jeans. He's got that hipster vibe. Totally. I don't know what Lola looks like. Lola Leeds. Probably a total hipster. Frank Corva. He's kind of like a crypto hipster. Like he hides it. He like presents as if he is well put together. He's just, when you meet him in person, he just kind of looks like and behaves similarly to how you would expect him to look on the news desk at the Bitcoin Magazine conference. But at home, when he lets loose, nobody's watching. He's a hipster. Journalists are just kind of hipsters. I mean, uh, I don't really know how to. I mean, I like typewriters. Write my articles on typewriters. That's kind of a hipster thing to do. Smoking cigarettes. I don't know if that's really hipster. Hipsters definitely smoke cigarettes, but I don't think it's necessarily a hipster thing to do. Again, unless you're smoking American spirits. That's like the hipster cigarette, right? But I don't know. I'm not even sure why I was talking about hipsters, but yeah, the economy is fine. Don't listen to them, Grandpa. Grandpa's not worried about the economy because Grandpa's watching network television, and well, it depends on which flavor. Some imagine retiring with Trump derangement syndrome. Like, I just think it's like one of the most unfortunate things that you could ever do in life is you get to that age where you're old and your mind is not working as well as it used to, and to a large degree you're alone, right? Because your friends have died, your parents have died, maybe your spouse has died, and you're sitting in this home. Your family doesn't talk to you very often. You don't really have anything to do, and you just sit there and watch network television all day. And just like it's kind of a, because I think that age for a lot of adults, like when they get to that point, they're in the retirement home and all they want to do is watch network television. They don't really go out. They shouldn't be driving anymore. They're very sedentary. When they get to that point, it's generally a pretty slow or quick decline. You know what I mean? And there's individuals in this country that are just glued to their televisions with Trump derangement syndrome. And that's how they're spending the last days of their life. Just so upset. And on the flip side, the Fox News watchers or whatever, like they're stoked. They're like, there's hope for the future. They're having a little bit better time, but even though I think it's, still really unfortunate that they're glued to their TV. And, if I ever get to that age, in that type of situation where I'm just sedentary, I think there's going to be a lot of better things I can do with my time in my life than watch network television and be involved in interested in politics. It's just, it's really unfortunate. I've seen this happen, to some old people. I know some old people in this situation, but it's just, it's really unfortunate because there's so much to do. And I think the same thing though goes for younger people of, there's so much distraction and nonsense in the world around us and so little signal. And the thing that's hard about distraction is you get a taste for it. You become accustomed to distraction. You become hungry for distraction. It changes your taste buds. And so breaking out of distraction into signal is difficult. It's like quitting sugar. They manufacture these distractions scientifically to hook you. and it's hard to get unhooked. And I think one of the best ways to get unhooked from distractions and nonsense is human connection. Like it's really the antidote to most of the issues that you see in the world is just be connected. Because when you're having a good time and engaging and interacting with somebody in person on a really real level, but you're doing something together that you like, you could spend a lot of time without looking at your phone. You don't care about what's happening on Twitter, the messages you're getting in the group chat, unless she's hot. You just don't care. You're dialed in and you're focused on the people that you're with. And you don't really have time to the problem with the distraction talk when you're talking about politics and you're talking about all this bullshit that doesn't matter, drama and gossiping. What it does is it actually disconnects you from the person that you're spending time with. You're not engaging with them, and so that's why it's I think, where the distractions are unhelpful is it actually disconnects you from the people. I mean, it's just if you talk about all the things that you're doing when you're disconnected from people, which a lot of people that sit there and they watch news or whatever, uncredentialed, thermodynamically sound news. I'm not saying all news is bad. Bugle is dope, but you go out there, you're consuming all this nonsense, and then you're with your friends or family, the people that you're close with, and all you want to talk about is nonsense. It's just a huge waste of time. Huge waste of time. And it just reinforces all the bullshit because, you feel disconnected from people. So then you leave the interaction and then you go do the same shit that you're doing to cope with the feeling of disconnection. So it's important to connect with people on a real level and do things. And there's lots of things that you can do. It doesn't have to be like forced family fun time. But man, let me tell you, one of the greatest things I have ever experienced in my life is sitting down and jamming with people, playing music together, and or writing music with them. And or just doing creative things like that. Writing poetry together, writing fiction together, comparing notes, showcasing different projects that you've done, connecting with individuals on, through your whatever your favorite creative outlet is awesome. Because what it does is it allows for you to showcase the things that are important to you, but it also allows you to hear the things that are likely the most important to the other person, like beyond all the bullshit. And so I think it's important and it's helpful to figure out what that is and to try and draw that out of people, to connect. But anyways, poor old people watching network television. It feels so sad. So like our society is really cruel to children. It's really cruel to the elderly too. It's a very cruel society in many ways, very dark. And it's I think when you're so meshed in it, it's hard to see. But you banish the old people to be by themselves and watch CNN or Fox News all day, and then you just mistreat children. But yeah, I mean, right now, Trump derangement syndrome is just about as devastating to individuals' brains as like the COVID madness was. And Rhea says, I hear there's some nursing homes that ban typewriters. But yeah, anyways, I think one of the things that's awesome about having your shit together in the fourth turning is like you really have a lot to offer the world, and life is meaningful. Like there's a reason to get up out of bed. You know, there's children to inspire in a world that is just destroying their sense of individuality and creativity. There's people that you care about that you can draw their best selves out of them and attempt to do that. Encourage them to just do better. Not necessarily through criticism, but just like, you know, by being an inspiring person, by having your shit together when everybody else is losing their minds, being calm, cool, collected, having a good time. It's easier to have fun when you're dancing. Dance your way through the fourth turn in. I might have some exciting news about a DJ gig that I got. I am also working on my second electronic album right now, which I'm excited. So I've got the flagship song, which I'll save. I don't have it on the track list tonight because I want to release the whole thing, but I've been writing some banger EDM songs that I might get the opportunity to DJ in the near future. And when that news comes, I'll let you know. It's going to be sick. But let me read through the rest of the comments real quick, and then we'll get back to the music. Avi Burra says Corey and the Swans. And then he said, I will be doing a show on Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, but I'm not a pagan. Interesting. It's, you know, the lines between monotheism and paganism is so blurred. Everything's just, you know, ultimately kind of a melting pot of recycled ideas from each other. So depending on where in the world you are, it's clear as pagan. But you always got these atheists, or, you know, the neener anti-Christians that always like to point out that Christmas is a pagan holiday. And Avi says Frank Corva is a gentleman. He's on to me. He might have figured out what I was talking about, but I'm not going to. This is an announcement of, hopefully an announcement. I'm not going to make the announcement tonight. But yeah, folks, let's get back to the music. Right now, I am in the middle of reading Atlas Shrugged again. I was listening to the part where Hank Reardon was talking with Francisco D'Antonio for the first time. And that got me just thinking about Francisco D'Antonio as a character. I really like him as a character. If you haven't read the book, you know, just to recap, he is kind of a shithead, or he presents as a shit. He's a very moral person that just presents as like a total shithead, like a, you know, playboy, run around with all these girls, like, you know, just being a mess. But in reality, he's really got his shit together. He just puts that up as a kind of a facade and a wall because he's taken part in John Galt's plan, and he's just, you know, essentially trolling people economically, using the facade and trying to be a reflection back to them and on how unhelpful they are or destructive they are. And he's an incredible character, but he had a little bit of a fling with Dagny Taggart. Man, one of the projects I want to do, I want to do an Atlas Shrugged movie. And I think if I do that, more people will read the book, and it'll be a great thing. But it's on the agenda. But one of the things I've been working on in my head, this is the only song I've written for it, but I've been trying to develop, so maybe I've written other songs that I would include in it, but I want to do the whole soundtrack myself. And this is Dagny Taggart's theme song. I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'm going to go smoke some cigarettes outside. Shoot me messages and Zap Stream. Thank you for the boost, guys.
song she thought she knew. But when she asked him what it was, she didn't know what was true. While she knew the composer, Richard Haley, had fallen off the map. How did this man know this song? But there was no time, she couldn't turn back. Missing workers, trains running behind. The results of the world ran by the blind leading the blind. Danny Taggart, a woman to behold. On her wrist she wore a bracelet made of reared on steel. Running those trains when the world's falling apart. She refuses to let the looters kill her heart. They said she couldn't do it. They all said she would fail. But the day the comet touched those tracks, her determination prevailed. Beating them once was never quite enough. The day White Oil burst to flames, things were getting pretty rough. Missing workers, trains running behind. The results of the world ran by the blind leading the blind. Danny Taggart, a woman to behold. On her wrist she wore a bracelet made of rear-done steel. Running those trains when the world's falling apart. She refuses to let the looters kill her heart. The world needs more Dagny Taggarts, individuals who are too determined to lose. When the world is falling apart, we don't need more lobbyists perpetuating abuse. Danny Taggart, one woman to behold. On her wrist she wore a bracelet made of reared-on steel. Running those trains when the world's falling apart. She refuses to let the looters kill her heart. I hope one day you meet a woman just like Dagny. Maybe together we'll be able to prevent tragedy. The world needs people who use their brains, or all we have is the charred remains.
In the morning, I get out of bed, try not to be crippled by a feeling of dread. I sip my coffee and put on my pants. Gotta grind for the damn tax man. Had not been out of jail but for 3 days. Bailed out after I punched a cop in a drunken haze. He punched right back and I got a black eye. My wife told me if I don't change, I'll probably die. Soon the bull market will come. We'll drink and be merry, actually have fun. Then when fiat money is finally dead, we'll settle our citadels, the podcaster said. I go into work and everyone stares. They think I'm a loser or who doesn't care. I sit down at my desk, headphones on ears, block out the shit from my NPC peers. The boss comes over and waves her hand to say at the least She's not a big fan. She doesn't appreciate all my memes and seems to want to crush all my ambitious dreams. Soon the bull market will come. We'll drink and be merry, actually have fun. Then when fiat money is finally dead, we'll settle our citadels, the podcasters said. She tells me to pack all my shit. She yells at me, I can feel her spit. Turns out the cop was her dad. Honestly, I'm kinda glad. I pack up all my shit and give her a wink. She screams that I need to see a shrink. I chuckle as I walk out the door. She doesn't own Bitcoin and we'll have fun staying poor. Soon the bull market will come. We'll drink and be merry, actually have fun. Then when fiat money is finally dead, we'll settle our citadels, the podcaster said. Put on the Bugle Weekly as I get in the car. Turn on the engine and light a cigar. Well, this has been a few shitty days. At least I can go on Twitter and call Sailor gay.
No matter how shitty your life is, you can always go on Twitter and call Sailor gay. That's the consolation, I guess. But it's also kind of nice to not have a shitty life. But don't make your life shittier than it has to be. My word of advice: smoke cigarettes, have a good time. Read Atlas Shrugged. Listen to the Bitcoin podcast. You're probably gonna be okay. But Rayo asks, if I could have a smoke with Ayn Rand, what would I say? I probably wouldn't say a whole lot. I would just, ask questions. I don't know if her and I would get along that well in person. I'd probably be incredibly triggering to her. And, this is like, something that you have to realize is just because you're a big fan of somebody and you're a fan of the things that they did, you might not get along with them. And you're approaching them with this weird what's the word? Asymmetry, where you know a lot about them and they don't have anything about you. It's just like kind of one of those weird situations. I don't know if you've ever ran into somebody like that or had that experience, but it is kind of alarming when somebody's like, they know so much about you in your life and you don't know anything about them. You're just like, oh, who's this weirdo that spends a lot of time talking to me? And I just don't think she was that type of person, that was like super friendly with her fans. Or at least she doesn't appear to be that way. But, maybe that's just because in her interview, she's kind of in an adversarial environment. So she's a little bit grumpier, but I don't know. It would be nice to smoke. I would just kind of observe her. You know what I mean? Might not ask questions, but it would be a cool experience because she's somebody that I really respect as an author. And I don't know what I think about her life. I mean, I disagree with her in a lot of ways, but I like her ideas that she depicts in her books. I think they're really helpful framework for understanding the world around us. But I don't know how the interaction would go. But it'd be interesting. It'd be cool. Let's see how long I've been streaming for. 52 minutes. Sick. I'm about halfway through the music, about halfway through the stream. We're cruising here. If you got messages for me, shoot them in Zapstream. I may check Twitter to see what's going on there, but the Twitter live chat is just weird. Zapstream works a lot better. But yeah, dancing is great. I think I talk about dancing a lot I think some people think I'm weird because I like to dance. When I write a really good song, and I wrote a really good song the other day, I couldn't stop dancing to it. Uh, it's cool. Like, when I think there's these times where I write these songs and they're just fresh and I can't stop hearing it in my head. Can't stop singing it. Can't stop listening to it. It's a great experience to have. But it's nice to have music to dance to. And like, I think one of the things that's special about writing music for yourself is it's so attuned with who you are. It's unique. It's different than listening to somebody else's music. It's about you. It's about what you think. And I just think generally that is why it's so important for you as an individual to have some sort of artistic expression or to have something that you really take ownership over. Because a lot of people don't. A lot of people, they're just wage slaves. They go to a job and they work for somebody else their whole life. So they work for somebody else to earn money, to be able to afford taxes. And then they go home and they just consume other people's stuff. They consume other food that people make and drinks that people make, alcohol that other people make. They consume nothing. So everything that they produce is for somebody else, and everything that they consume is from somebody else, and they just don't have any real ownership in it anyway. It's sad. It's just it's unbelievable to me. I cannot even imagine what it's like to be an individual that has zero creativity whatsoever, or at least fails to express it in any way. I cannot imagine an existence like that. It sounds so depressing. But the nice thing about artistic expression is you get to own it. It's yours. Whatever you're putting out there. Like a book, for example. So I just interviewed Avi Burra the other day, and we talked a lot about his book, which I'm excited to read. It's on the list. There's a few individuals that are starting to write novels. There's another guy named Michael Sullivan, who his book, The Blood of the Bourgeois, or bourgeoisie, whatever the way that those Marxists call it. But yeah, I'm excited to read that. It sounds interesting. Sly Goomba interviewed him. So I did. That's another podcast I need to listen to, is Goomba's interview with him. But I've been talking with Goomba about some writing stuff that he's doing. It's exciting to see all of these things happen culturally that are valuable. Noah Grumman just got done with her tour with Sabaton, which sounded awesome. I can't wait to talk to her once she's recovered from that. Probably take her a while. That was a big tour. Hear how it went. That's exciting. I mean, that was a big deal. Avi was mentioning this Value for Value music festival that's happening in Serbia next summer that they're going to be headlining. That's sick. You have a woman that was just out there, touring, and it's not like she had a small minor role in the show. Like, she's front stage center, very involved in the production, singing in front of everybody. Just a true star in front of tens of thousands of people. She's going to be headlining this Value for Value music festival with her band Stardust in Serbia. I'm going to do everything in my ability to be there. I don't care what it takes. If I got to go to the ocean, pull the hair out of my head to tie sea turtles with, to raft for months across the ocean to get to Serbia, I will. That's how stoked it's just going to be. This is going to be the epicenter next year of music. It's going to be fucking sick. Noah's going to be the headliner of that. So that's something that's exciting. That's happening. What's her name? Chris Cyborg created a comic book, which I also need to get my hands on. Been having some exciting conversations with Madex recently about some stuff. I love that guy. Got my Madex necklace on. This is like the only piece of jewelry I've ever owned and like worn for an extended period of time because it's sick. Dude's got, all these references to Rand. I'm excited about some of the stuff that he's working on that I'm not going to announce for him, but this is an announcement that there's going to be a lot of exciting Madex announcements in the future. Sorry for so many announcements of announcements, but it's the end of the year. We're getting into the holidays. We'll hit you with announcements next year, I guess. But I don't know. There's a bunch of exciting shit. Like, it's exciting to see people doing things and taking ownership for themselves and their lives. I mean, you've got the stuff that Rayo's doing with Paznia. You've got a bunch of people doing cool things, going on cool endeavors. You got Shadrach in this chat, who's running around all over the world, trying to build things and connect people together and do things. He's also, playing some music, but this dude is being an active participant in his life and owning things. And, I've seen a lot of discussion of Marxism recently in the groups that I walk in. It's just always interesting because I feel like the Marxists and the Bitcoin people or the free market people, the Randian people, they have a lot in common and oftentimes are able to identify problems in a similar way, but use different language and focus slightly on different people. But there's a same framework of there being problematic people, useless people, and helpful people, and that the problematic people are typically the same. It's just that you got different words from it. Like the capitalists, they're the owners of capital, what the Marxists focus on. But they're more so talking about the moochers, like Rand talks about. And, people that are a little bit more on the free market side of things, they focus on the state. The state is always the thing. The Bitcoiners, the state hates you. We're still going to worship the state, but they hate us. We're going to worship the people that hate us. Bitcoin people are funny sometimes. That's why the Bugle's so much fun, is because these people that we're engaging and reporting on are absolutely hilarious. But we're all in the process of growing up. There's some people that just haven't grown up as much. And it's fun to tease them a little bit. Like Justin Belcher, that guy. He got all big grumpy this week, said he unfollowed us. But there's all this exciting stuff happening culturally. Like, it's here. And it's funny because the attitudes on Twitter are very negative. People are grumpy. People are, just disengaged. And maybe one of the reasons why people are disengaged is they're going out and they're doing more productive things. That's my hope, at least. It's hard to know. And so, if you're doing something really cool that you're proud of, like, message me. I'm pretty busy, so I don't always have the best ability to see what everybody's doing, but I just want to know what's going on. If you're proud of it, shoot me updates, shorter stuff. It's hard if you send me a lot of podcasts. So it's got to be a really good podcast. that you got to really nail me down for. But I will try and read your books. Might take me a while, but I will try and get it to it. Just please, for the love of God, just put an audiobook out. We're podcasters and podcast listeners. That's how we consume information. But yeah, anyways, let's see what we got on the music. We got Winter Chill, Masters of Slop. I think we're a little bit over halfway through the stream. Folks, you are listening to the Paznia Radio Network. I'll be back here shortly.
Winter chill is in the air. The cold may come with crisp despair. Times are hard, there's uncertainty, but losing hope is not our destiny. Guard your heart, guard your mind. Together our fates are intertwined. Choose to embark
the bandwagon while it's hot. It's time to twist the plebs up into knots. They are useful cannon fodder. Shouting the roof's on fire, tell the sane that they are liars. Who cares about truth or honor? Whip up a raging storm, direct those who are uninformed. They wanted a moral crusade anyways. Weaponize all their fears, manipulate them to become volunteers to fight a war to earn your praise. You are a master, master of pleb slop. Tell them you are on their side while your true intentions hide. Plebs don't question, they just react. Isolated, angry, and alone, they wanna feel seen and known. Validate their feelings so they ignore facts. Point them like a loaded gun, rob them of any fun. Their minds are yours to steal. They will sing how you are great, amplify what you create. Whatever you say they think is real. You are the master, you are the masters of slow. The crowd cheers when you talk and boos the ones you mock, not understanding what they do. You think they're on the winning side, repeating talking points you provide, parroting all that you spew. Follow the masters, follow the masters of slop. Manufacturing a divide, conquering by forcing them into sides. It's too easy not to do. Shake the jar and watch them fight. Fill them with venom and spite. The playbook isn't new. Manipulating the masses, the true masters of slop.
So the discussions, which isn't surprising, we're in some interesting economic times right now, but the discussions around capitalism and Marxism are heated up. And I think capitalists generally are happy people. I think the Marxists tend to be grumpier. Like you could be a happy Marxist. It's possible. And I think it is possible if you are able to take ownership for yourself. But the ideologies are different at the root. At the core, they are different because the capitalist ideology is more rooted in a sense of personal responsibility and general ability to be successful, whereas the Marxist is a victim. I was rereading the Communist Manifesto, which is not a good representation of Marxism. It's just communist plebslop. It's really bad, actually. And I've been told, and I unfortunately have not read as much Marx as I would have liked to, but I've been told that he has some pretty interesting critiques of capitalism, the capitalist system. But I was just reading. I was shocked because I thought the Communist Manifesto was more compelling, but I was reading it and it was just they were bitching about how capitalists made people's lives better. They're like they go into these countries and they help them industrialize and it improves everybody's life. And they create the bourgeoisie or the bourgeois. They create the middle class, essentially the upper class. They bring people out of poverty, and they were bewailing it. I was just like, what is this nonsensical pleb slop? Like who finds the Communist Manifesto, interesting? But I think things are a little bit different today than they were historically. Whereas there's just so much more access to information. You think about, when at the time when the Communist Manifesto was being circulated, it was circulated, to a lot of people that you just didn't have access to a ton of information. They were kind of out in the boonies, maybe. And all they could feel is that there was something wrong. They didn't know what it was. And then all of a sudden, you got this pleb slop pointing at certain people. But I do think it's important to care about people. And it's important for you to selectively choose who you care about. You can't care about everybody. And there's some people that are just vampires that will suck the life out of you. And it's just, you got to set boundaries, emotional boundaries with them. It's just like, I'm just not giving you this much energy. But it's helpful to know that you can't care about everybody. And like, I think this is like the collectivist thinking. It hijacks people's sense of or desire to care about people and to want a better future and to have a sense of meaning and purpose. Because what I see from a lot of Marxists is this kind of paternal posturing of they know what's best for other people, and you have to make decisions for the retards, for the worthless, plebs that can't fend for themselves. And there's a lot of like trying to guilt trip people in to this. And I do think it's important to be responsible for how your actions have negative externalities and how they impact people. And to just generally care about where you live and the people surrounding you, just not be a total shithead, not get in the way. But the mindset that I really don't like about the collectivist philosophy is this belief that you have any responsibility or ability to determine what's best for other people. Whereas, the capitalist philosophy, like one of the big issues with, I think, why socialism is rising again, Marxism in general, is because the language is so poor. And also the definitions are so poor. Like when you can define Donald Trump as a capitalist and convince people that that's what capitalism is, he's a collectivist. He's not a capitalist. He's not a free market guy. He's a Keynesian through and through. He is for the central control over the economy, and he just might have a different flavor. And he's spewing pleb slop as if he's a capitalist, so he kind of feeds into it. But there's this disconnect in language because what they define as capitalism are things that capitalists don't like as well, generally speaking. At least the intellectually honest ones, the ones with integrity, they don't like these things. And so it's hard. So there's a lot of discussion over language. And maybe it's time to kill the term capitalism, come up with a new one. It's like a lot of anarchists, they've tried to kill the word anarchy and in favor for voluntarism, because the word anarchy has such a negative connotation. Like it's going to make your grandma just cringe. She doesn't like anarchists because when she thinks of an anarchist, she thinks of these woke leftists burning down the bookstore Pals in Portland, or trying to, doing all this stuff. But there's just like a negative connotation with anarchy when it just really means freedom. And so maybe it's a time to kill, just have a sort of retreat. Like we're not gonna die on this hill arguing with the Marxists on what capitalism is. We're gonna accept your definition. We're gonna come up with a new one, or just be like, yeah, I don't like your definition of capitalism either. But anyways, I don't know. It's just interesting to think about from a tactic standpoint, philosophical standpoint. But I think capitalists are typically happier people because they believe in themselves. Capitalism is the belief system of believing in yourself. And you don't have to be the most successful person in the world. You don't have to have a college education. You don't have to be hanging around with the power movers and shakers. Like you could be just a working class guy, be a capitalist in the sense that you believe in the ability to own private property, and you want a free market to operate, and you're going to engage in it. And you could feel pretty happy because you feel a sense of ownership for yourself. Like my labor is valuable. My time is valuable. My mind is valuable. And I'm exchanging those things for money. And the money that I'm earning is valuable, that I can do things like buy Bitcoin with, or cigarettes, or Madex art, or boost podcasters, or whatever it is. It's valuable. Having a belief in yourself. But yeah, we're just going to continue to see Marxism become a thing, and more and more. And one of the things that's really unfortunate about it is that it's going to hurt people's brains and their sense of self-esteem. Like that's what I'm concerned about more than this, like this hyperbolic fear that the United States is going to descend into communism. The United States is in this really strong oligarchic structure, and I just don't think the plebs are going to overthrow the oligarchs. Like whatever belief system that the plebs are going to adopt, largely speaking, is just going to help the oligarchs retain their power. And so you gotta figure out how to navigate that and how to deal with that and how to live in those parameters of where things are going. Like one of the ways is just like the exciting thing about technologies like Bitcoin and podcasting and private messaging and all of these things is you can combat a lot of that stuff without having some sort of direct confrontation that probably ends up in a dangerous situation for you and everybody involved. And have an like a fairly sizable impact. Bitcoin allows you to engage in free market, and I'm excited about the free market for music and information in general. Like that's where I'm at. Why engage in the podcasting ecosystem? Because I think it's a big role, but I'm also excited about people engaging in commerce. I mean, you want to buy non KYC books, go over to libertyunderattack.com. You can purchase non KYC books with Bitcoin. And that's exciting. That's interesting. It's cool that people are doing stuff like that. Because it matters. Like it's a way to have an impact in the world. It's a way to make a living. It's a way to live in your integrity. It's a way to hopefully create a better, just more opportunities. One of the best things that you can ever do in life is go earn money, because what money is representation of creating value. Now, some people make money. I guess it's not making money, but they steal money. They extract value. And this is like what the Marxists don't like about what they define as capitalists, is that they don't like the extraction of value out of working class people. And like, I don't like it either when it's not done honestly. But you create something valuable that the plebs pay for, that they appreciate. That's not extraction. That's providing value. That's providing a service. And that's cool, because you're making their lives better. You're providing something valuable to them. You're employing people in the process. You're helping the people that you're employing are going out, and they're spending money. They're able to afford things for their family during the fourth turning, when things are really bad economically or just volatile. It's literally one of the best things that you could do is go earn money and provide value to the world right now. But I mean, that's why I think the capitalist is just going to be a generally more well-adjusted person, because it's the process of looking for an opportunity, the mindset of looking for an opportunity for success for yourself, and generally providing value to the world, versus the attitude of seeing yourself as a victim to the system, or the bourgeois, the ruling class, the capitalist, whatever you want to define it as. And I think it's interesting to take this approach in conversation with the grumpy, unhappy Marxist that's floundering, because I think it's more relatable. It's more real. Like, hey, you're not just mentally ill and unhappy and on psychotropic medication because you believe the wrong ideas or you like the wrong politician, because they're going to freak out about that. You're unhappy and poorly adjusted right now because you don't believe in yourself. I think that's a more effective way to communicate these ideas. When you really hit somebody, and you go after, instead of all the surface level bullshit, the identity politics, the ideology and philosophical side of things, you get straight into who they are as an individual, their values, because oftentimes their values are going to be more aligned with you. The most of the pleb slop, it's effective at disconnecting people from each other. I talked about this earlier, the distractions and how they disconnect each other. But the pleb slop, because when you have combating pleb slop, like when I show up to a party with my capitalist pleb slop, and you got the Marxists spewing out their pleb slop, talking about how you should eliminate money from society entirely, and steam starts to come out through my ears, just the stupidity of the argument. And he's surrounded by other people that are like, oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea, we should get rid of money, we should just barter things. And it feels, it's a trap. I'm unable in that situation. I've gotten better at it, but it feels like I'm unable to not turn that into a Bitcoin podcast. Start explaining the history of money. They don't know what money is. They have no idea. They don't know that it's a measuring stick to measure value. They don't know that what money is. They don't know that the money that they're using is broken. They don't know the very basics of economics. And they don't believe in themselves. And of course it's going to be upsetting, because they're promoting these ideas that are destructive for other people. But I think like it's a trap. Like the pleb slop that they're spewing there is a trap to get you disconnected. Because if you go in there and you turn the situation into a Bitcoin podcast and you start ranting to them about these very basic ideas that are important to understand, but that they don't, they're just gonna be like, wow, you're a dick. I'm a victim. You're part of promoting the class that's victimizing me. You then become aligned in their eyes with the oppressor, and there's a disconnection. And then you just see them as an idiot. Like, wow, this guy's such a pathetic victim that has had everything handed for him and is now spewing Marxist nonsense, goo goo gaga pleb slop. And so that's why I think it's important to take a step back for a minute. Just not get sucked in to the nonsense, and to really try to connect. And like this ability to connect with people artistically is great, because one of the things that you can do, you can ask people what they're doing, and then you can text them and you can follow up and ask them questions. Show me what I'm doing. You build that sense of rapport and connection with people as a way to get them empowered. Because like one of the ways that you create change is not in tearing things down. Sometimes it's necessary to tear things down, but it's really in building things up. You got to be willing. Individuals are like this. The more that you encourage the good aspects of them, the better they become. Because the problem is when you go and you shit on them, because like a lot of people know the shitty things that they're doing. If they're a pathetic victim, they're going to know they're a pathetic victim, at least subconsciously. They might not be able to define it. And if you just tell them, hey, you're a weak, pathetic victim, that just reinforces their perspective of themselves. That becomes the narrative in their head. They're reminded, I'm a weak, pathetic narrative. They say it over and over and over again. It reinforces the behavior. But if you really try to build them up, be curious about the things that they're doing, the things that are important to them, and you get them to focus on that, the narrative starts to shift. Because an individual acting with another individual, you act as a mirror. You have the opportunity to be a mirror in these people's lives. That's your role in a relationship. And it's what a podcast interviewer is. That's just what having a conversation with somebody is. Any sort of relationship, a romantic relationship, whatever it is, you're a mirror. You provide feedback. When somebody's talking, they don't see themselves. They see your responses to them, reflecting back to them. Are they engaged? Are they attentive to the things that I'm saying? Are they showing that through their body language, by asking questions, by showing interest? in the things that I'm doing? Are they paying attention? This is why being attuned to people is so effective and just generally helpful. Like actually giving a shit, being interested, putting your phone down. You are focused on this person because what that mirrors to them is really important for an artist. What that mirrors to them is you are paying attention to them, that they matter. It can be hard, but it is possible. With practice, you can really bring the best out of people and encourage them. And people need to be encouraged, especially the people that you care about. Right now, in the fourth turn-in, it is hard for a lot of people. But the capitalist sees an opportunity. It's not just to make money. It's just to believe in themselves. But part of that is making money. Folks, I've been ranting. We're going to get back to the music. This is Marty Bent says this time is different. Man, how different has this cycle been? This has been a weird cycle. Followed by Take My Hand.
Marty Ben says this time is different. Bitcoin is one and it is magnificent. Governments are buying, so why aren't you? Don't you wanna be rich and cool? Odell is confused and doesn't think Lynn is hot. He's a gay bear who needs to be taught. Staying humble was cool during the bear market, but this is the bull, it's going up like a rocket. The future is bullish because Bitcoin has won. It's been a tough bear market. Get ready for some fun. The future is bullish when Trump shit coins. Game theory is in progress. Everyone will join. Plebs and podcasters are the vanguard. The world is going to use a Bitcoin standard. A Bitcoin standard. If you think about it closely, Matt is plain wrong. We'll have a bright futures because Bitcoiners are strong. We are all about to get rich beyond our imaginations. Podcasters will be royalty, deciding the fate of nations. So will this time be different? Only time will tell. Are we walking into heaven or are we ushering in hell? The spooks are here and they don't play by the rules. You can see if you pay attention to the clues. Bitcoin will go up priced in USDT. That doesn't mean that we will necessarily be free. Wanting wealth and comfort is not a sin. People are tired, they just want to catch a win. The future is bullish when Trump shit coins. Game theory is in progress. Everyone will join. Plebs and podcasters are the vanguard. The world is going to use a Bitcoin standard. Oda lacks faith in good old Dennis Porter. He's orange pulling the world, ushering in order. 70% approval rating is no small have found the courage to fight, weighing the cost of facing the system's rejection. The masses are lost, but you have direction. Why do they feel threatened by people with self-respect? We will not kneel and pretend or numb out and disconnect. We're here together, watching the world fall apart. I know you feel the pressure, but this is just the start. Come take my hand, let's make a stand. Here is our chance, it's time to dance. Come and take my hand, we'll dance until the end. While the world is falling apart, they won't understand, but let them all be damned. Feel the music in your heart. The war will not be won if we can't have fun. Have the courage to use your mind. They may hate our memes, but they cannot crush our dreams. We can still have a good time. Don't let them get you down, that's what they try to do. Break down your sense of self by mocking what is true. If you don't believe your eyes and refuse to use your brain, you will fall for their lies and likely go insane. Come take my hand, let's make a stand. Here is our chance, it's time to dance, dance, dance. Come and take my hand, we'll dance until the end. While the world is falling apart, they won't understand, but let them all be damned. Feel the music in your
Chirac said he liked the original version of Marty says his time is different, better. And I do to some degree. That's a remastered version. I'll have to take a look at it. There's just something the newer version is just a little bit cleaner. But yeah, folks, it's day 21 of no Dennis Porter tweets. Stuck in North Korea. And let's see. I gotta post this tweet. It's the Pablo Escobar meme. Just simple caption. Bring Dennis home. I rambled a bit tonight, but yeah, folks, I don't know. I just think the solution to life is to feel good about yourself, and or the stuff that makes life difficult is to feel good about yourself. Try and help others feel good about yourself, because the nice thing is when you surround yourself with people that feel good about themselves, it's easier to feel better. They just act as better mirrors for you. You know what I mean? They're going to be more attuned to you. They're going to want to hear what you say more. It's just it is in your self-interest to really just be jazzed on life and jazzed on other people. But yeah, I got a couple more songs rolling in. I've rambled enough, but this is one I haven't played for a little bit. It's called Ungovernable Misfits. I dedicated this to the good folks at Ungovernable Misfits, specifically John DiGiacomo, who is a good friend of mine, but followed by Where I'm From, which is one of my new songs. It's an absolute banger. Here we go, folks.
I light my cigarette and take a good long puff. I live with no regrets, I've heard quite enough. They whisper their lies, yet still I'm immune. Pain will make you wise, I have nothing left to lose. I'm the man they warned you about, the one that gives them fear. I have no room for doubt, my direction crystal clear. I'll burn it all to the ground before I will ever submit. Can you hear the sound, the song of the ungovernable misfit? I won't live my life for you, nor ask you to live yours for mine. Seeking what is good and true, never wasting a moment of time. Choosing discomfort in search of something more. I'm choosing to run towards fate, not afraid to take risks and explore. Doing what it takes to be great. I'm the man they warned you about, the one that gives them fear. I have no room for doubt, my direction crystal clear. I'll burn it all to the ground before I will ever submit. Can you hear the sound, the song of the ungovernable misfit? I don't care what the masses think, they don't have the capacity to use their brains. They drown their sorrows in distractions and drink, pumping garbage through their veins. They look at me and judge, maladjusted, unhappy and unfulfilled. I will stand my ground and refuse to budge as I wait for it to break so I can rebuild. I'm the man they warned you about, the one that gives them fear. I have no room for doubt, my direction crystal clear. I'll burn it all to the ground before I will ever submit. Can you hear the sound, the song of the ungovernable misfit?
When people ask me where I'm from, I don't know what to say. I've wandered around the country till I finally found my way. From the plains of Illinois to the pines of Oregon to the desert of Arizona, I searched all over for freedom. Different places have their perks, but what is special to me is the people I've met, 'cause it's connection I need. Who I have become is less about where I have lived and is more about the love that people choose to freely give. A cowboy hat on my head and boots on my feet, a wandering spirit in my heart, unwilling to accept defeat. I can't say where I'm from, but I do know who I am. I'll fight for the people that I love, and this is the ground where I'll make my stand. The ruling class wants to divide us so we feel alone, but they can all go to hell because this is my home. They think that they can try to burn what I love to the ground, but they'll have to future to live for. I can't surrender my soul. This is my chance to be an example of what it means to be whole. The people of this country aren't property to be owned, and it's my role to tell them because they need to be shown. A cowboy hat on my head and boots on my feet, a wandering spirit in my heart, unwilling to accept defeat. I can't say where I'm from, but I do know who I am. I'll fight for the people that I love, and this is the ground where I'll make my stand. I don't know where I would be if I'd been ignored when I was down. If I hadn't found a helping hand, I know I wouldn't be around. So I remember that when I see someone who is hurt, I look them straight into their eyes and try to help them see their worth. I've been through hard times before, and I'll get through them now. My ancestors fought for a better future, and I intend to make them proud. When times get tough like this, we need each other more. I'm ready to let go of the past and quit keeping score. A cowboy hat on my head and boots on my feet, a wandering spirit in my heart, unwilling to accept defeat. I can't say where I'm from, but I do know who I am. I'll fight for the people that I love, and this is the ground where I'll make my stand. I am who I am because so many gave me grace. They helped me grow into a man, so my fears were something I could face. When people ask me where I'm from, I still don't know what to say. But I can say that I am loved and am going the right way. A cowboy hat on my head and boots on my feet, a wandering spirit in my heart, unwilling to accept defeat. I can't say where I'm from, but I do know who I am. A man who is love, and this is the ground where I'll make my stand.
The world likes to steal people's innocence from them. A lot of the just nasty stuff, it attacks the very nature of who you are. A lot of times the most formative, just like negative, unhelpful beliefs that people develop about themselves, it happens when they're children. And Christmas is a time to remember what it was like to be a kid, because hopefully you had fun at least once, but hopefully a lot throughout your childhood when you were a kid, that you had presents and you get to spend time with family and you didn't have to go to school and you could, run around in the snow and, eat and then take a nap and get excited about your new toys and get excited about the idea of what you were going to get for presents. It was a time of connection. It was a time of fun and exploration, because I think that's like what was exciting about getting a toy as a kid. It wasn't necessarily just having a new thing, but at least the way I was, it was a new opportunity to go on a new adventure, because the toy or the item was a vehicle to an adventure, whatever it was. You could do something with it. It added just like this novelty to your life, and it able to experience something new and to engage in creativity. Oftentimes, the toy, there was a learning process with it. You had to learn how to use it. You had to learn the best and optimal way to have fun with it. And I remember when I got my first typewriter as a kid, having to learn how to operate it. It was time that I spent with my dad. Good connection, learning how to operate a typewriter. The first pack of cigarettes I got, I think it was for my birthday, but it's kind of similar idea. And a lot of adults, they just take themselves way too seriously. They forget what it's like to be a kid. It's part of the reason why I like kids so much is because they just haven't lost that sense of optimism and excitedness. Most of the time, some of the iPad kids are pretty screwed right now. But I'm not talking about the iPad kids. I'm talking about the kids that like to read and just are still curious. They're not just being bombarded with plebslop on iPads, and they're exciting because they remind me of what I was like. You know what I mean? And I think children act like mirrors. It's important. It's important to take care of the old people. It's important to take care of the kids in society. It's important to take care of yourself. And that's largely what holidays like Christmas is about. Is the family structures the whole thing around the kids and the excitement of the kids, getting them presents, making it a good time for them, as life should be structured. Because part of the reason why it's so enjoyable is like the parents, they look at their kids and they remember what it was like for them. Hopefully, or they remember how it sucked and they want to make sure it doesn't suck for their kids. It's a beautiful process of just changing the script of history. And I love Christmas for that reason. I think it's a great holiday. But folks, this is the end of the stream. I want to thank you for tuning in to this edition of Music Mondays. I was texting Rayo during the stream. He said he might take my slot in 2 weeks, which would be cool. I'll try to do my best to listen to it. I'm excited about that. But folks, I will send you out with this Christmas song that I made last year called Christmas Through the Eyes of a Child.
Do you remember what it was like when you were young? Presents under the tree, your story had just begun. Childhood innocence, free of the burdens and responsibility. Endless ideas to explore, unaware of life's fragility. Do you remember when life was magical? When you saw the world through the eyes of a child? This Christmas, let us remember we will never ever surrender our creativity and our minds choosing to be warm and kind. Let's be with the ones we love and choose to rise above. Let's see the world through the eyes of a child and enjoy some innocence for a while. You are more than a taxpayer, slaving away to afford the bill. Please, Lord, answer this prayer. Give me the courage and will to stand up in the midst of chaos and really choose to live, to let go of burdens that weigh on us and have the courage to forgive. Do you remember when life was magical? When you saw the world through the eyes of a child? This Christmas, let us remember we will never ever surrender our creativity and our minds choosing to be warm and kind. Let's be with the ones we love and choose to rise above. Let's see the world through the eyes of a child and enjoy some innocence for a while. And enjoy some innocence for a while. The world doesn't need more examples of how not to be.
Let's be examples of what it means to be free, to have hope that the future will be better, and force our kids to wear ugly Christmas sweaters. Life moves too quick to not cherish these moments, so enjoy the opportunity to forget your employment. Remember what it was like to be a kid before you listen to what Bitcoin did. Let your mind run wild and free, and choose to be happy and filled with glee. Let life be magical just for a minute. Having fun is how we will win it.